for joining me for my preview of the Clemson coaching staff. And I've called this the power of the Clemson coaching staff. If you're new here, welcome. Wipe your shoes off before you come in my house. Anyway, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. Over the past couple of days, I've had some live streams up. Had old buddy, he's filled in. He's not near as talented as I am. I'm better looking, and he's way too calm. I don't like it. It's like, pfft. Volunteer Roadshow was on here. Ladies and gentlemen, Volunteer Roadshow, one of the geniuses that is Volunteer Roadshow, dropped some big news today via Pigskin Pete. Pigskin Pete's going to be joining the network with Volunteer Roadshow, and I might be making an appearance here and there. Lord, you never know. Might drive on down there and kick my feet up and, smoke a cigarette, because that's way you know everybody feels at home and you're home. Man, all of you know now. I'm glad. Congratulations to them. I look forward to being there every now and again, but y'all have to go check that out. You need to go watch Pigskin Pete's video, of course, after mine. You need to go watch it. Go check out Volunteer Roadshow. You need to hit the subscribe button to both of them. It's a whole new thing. It's too much for me to explain. Plus, it's too intelligent. I just can't put past one and one together. He's here. Everybody's on here. Nick Sottle, Wendell Cooper, Border Bob's on here. I got people on here coming here saying, May there, May there. Got my head spinning around everybody. George is on here. Saying May there to a bunch of people. And for all of you who's rewatching this later on, this is a live stream. I May there and everybody. David Atkins. Good Lord, the people showing up everywhere. Wendell Cooper. Whew. Good to see you. All in. Volunteer Roadshow. It's so much exciting. We'll give you a coronary infarction. You're right. Volunteer Roadshow. We will. Well, I'm going to go ahead and dig right in here. I'm going to lay off of my May there's here for a second, because y'all join me to be entertained, of course. Now, the truth is, when we think about football teams, too many times, we get caught up in the players on the field. We get caught up in the big recruits. We get caught up in who signed with who. They come out and they play, and they're just incredible. They're amazing. Okay, I get it. I'm the same way. But here is the problem. Too many times we forget about the geniuses on the sideline. Tonight's video is not about the players. Tonight is about the coaches who makes the players they are. They're the coaches who walks into the homes of these big recruits and looks at them and looks at their parents and says, you can trust me to coach that young man and make him the best version of himself that he is willing to be under my coaching. A lot of people don't think about it that way. Everybody sees the shine. They see the glimmer. They see the holding up of trophies. But that's the way it happens. Back around 2012-ish, Clemson went to the Orange Bowl. Very first 10-win season, from what I can remember. It's right off the top of my head. Don't snow me. Don't be a douche. Went to the first Orange Bowl since they won a national championship in 1981. It was the first 10-win season since probably the late 80s. Only to get blown out by West Virginia by like 40 points. After that game, Dabo Swinney knew he had to make a change at defensive coordinator. He let go of then DC Kevin Steele. I believe he's down at Auburn or something now. And he went on the hunt. And he hired a guy that Oklahoma wasn't exactly, some of their fans wasn't too happy about. They wasn't too happy with him. He just wasn't calling plays like they should. Prince 6'1" just showed up. Right there. But the truth is, DeAndre Crawford and General Shadowman, it's good to see y'all here. Here's the truth. We hired Brent Venables, and ever since then, Clemson has been one of the best defensive units in college football, producing some of the top talent going into the NFL, leading up to what I think was the best defensive line to ever play college football at one time on the field. At one time. Brent Venables is a genius. He knows how to scheme. He had to pull it together. He had to fix ways that people thought of the game, and it wasn't right. Only his genius and that mindset that he has is what shut down Alabama, what shut down Notre Dame, what shut down many teams. I also referred, I didn't. Somebody else referred to last night. My buddy who filled in for me last night, he talked about the year, it was just year before we won the national championship when Kelly Bryant was a quarterback. Not picking on Kelly, but we lost 24-6. 24-6. Against Alabama. Had a brain fart there for a second. Long day. We were down 10-6 at halftime. Defense was playing out of their minds. Then we had a pick six in the second half. And the defense had stayed out on the field all night because our offense couldn't do nothing. And the only touchdown the Alabama offense had, or even sniffed the end zone in the second half, was from an interception that was returned down to the Clemson 45. And the defense had been on the field all night. Kudos to Alabama. They did what they did. I'm not going to play this what if and boring. I'm not going to continue to do that. The thing is, you got to even go back to that game. Even our defense was good. That's the difference in having good coaches. Great coaches. And not just great coaches. Coaches who've stayed together forever. They've been... I know they're going to leave. I know people are going to leave. I get it. Okay? I'm not... I might look like I might have kissed my cousin, and maybe I did. That doesn't make what I'm saying not true. He's been there for a while. He can walk into a recruit's house, and he can look at them and say, how long have I been here? Oh, well, you've been there since 2012. Well, how long has defensive coordinator Alabama been there? I know he's recruiting you. Oh, that's right. He's recruiting you. He's picking up where that other guy left off. And then they were recruiting you about 3 years ago when you were a sophomore in high school, or freshman in high school, and that other guy was recruiting you. Yeah, they're changing them like underwear. I'm here. So that's not a dig at Alabama, but that's the truth. And we moved to the offensive side of the ball. Chad Morris, he come on. He did some great things. Every now and again, didn't always agree with some of his play calling, but he did way better than what we had in the past, and he is a good coach, okay? I'm not going to take that away from him. Chad Morris is a good coach, and one of the reasons we are where we're at today, he can recruit. In 2015, Jeff Scott and Tony Elliott, two former Clemson players who played during the Bowden years, early Bowden years, by the way. They come back, they're coaching, they do what they do. And then when they have when Swaney had the opportunity to move them up, he did. And my goodness, have they done incredible things. They've been around since 2015. I expect one of them to leave after this season because they are head coach worthy. But I'm telling you, they've been around for a while. It is what it is. I know I say that all the time, but it is what it is. These guys have stuck around. They've built the game plan together. They're fun to coach for. They're old enough to know better, but they're still too young to just be sticks in the mud. Right? They know better than to do some stuff. Right? They know better than call some plays. They know the line in the sand of when to have a good time with the boys, and then when it's a time to say, okay, boys, it's time to we got to pull these guys back in. I mean, you got to think they're what? In their late 30s? They are full of youth. They've been around the game a long time. They know how to get through to these players. These players respect them, yet they trust them. And these players trust them, yet they can have fun with them. But when it's time to put on the business suit, and it's time to dig in the weight room, when it's time to hit the field and run the plays that they called, they're going to do it. These players also have the relationship with these coaches to where they can turn around and look at the coaches and say, hey, whoa, hold on. I'm seeing this coach. And the coach actually stops and thinks about it because that's the relationship they've built with them. And they've taught them what to look for. The power of a good coaching staff changes everything. Now, I'm as I say, you know me, even though I'm rough around the edges, Lord, I'm smooth as silk. I'll tell you this, that I don't like to just trash people. I'm not going to trash Tommy Bowden. I'm not going to sit here and trash Tommy. I don't get how he didn't win 10 games, at least 2 years, with the talent he had versus the ACC. But there were so many times he had the talent there, he could have won 10 games. At least once or twice. And he couldn't do it. He could not do it. He'd bring in another offensive coordinator. Couldn't do it. Bring in another defensive coordinator. Couldn't do it. I could go out and recruit C.J. Spiller and bring him in. Couldn't do it. He had good players there. Maybe not to the level that we have now, but he had good players there. He could have did it. Couldn't do it. This coaching staff they're jailed. They've been together for a long time. They have the tenure. They trust each other. They know each other. And their players know them. I say this about Alabama all the time, and look, I'm telling you this. If you know anything about this Clemson fan, we're going to pick at you. You're going to pick at us. We do have respect for you. And the sensible ones of you have respect for us. And if you don't, I can take you back to about 7 months ago when we made you respect us, whether you hated every second of it or not. But the truth is, you ask a kid at Alabama, who's played at Alabama for 3 years, who was your offensive coordinator? And he's going to name out individuals who's no longer there. And there's like 2 or 3 of them. Yes, we have 2 coordinators. We have co-offensive coordinators. But they've been there every year since 2015. Brent Venables has been there since 2012. My point is they've been there for a long time. They have the relationships. That's powerful. They know how to build a game plan. When it's time to go out and beat the crap out of somebody, when it's time to drive a stake down in the ground and say, you're not beating us, that's powerful. Let me tell you right now, you can go hire all the best darn coaches you can go find, and I'm going to tell you, they're going to get you results. I'm telling you, you're going to get results. When it gets down and the season's been long, and it's been tough, but you're still inking out wins. Games that other coaches they've been focusing on for the entire year. You're now the game of the year for them. You're now the game of the year for every team you play. It used to be Florida State was the game of the year in the ACC when they come to town. Now it's Clemson. It used to be Miami, and it's Clemson. If you're in the SEC, no matter how much you want to think that all those other games matter, they do, but here's the deal. Listen to me. Alabama matters when they come to town. Georgia matters when they come to town. LSU, if they would actually get an offense, We've been hearing they're getting an offense for the past couple of years, and I'm not knocking them. I have no problem. I like Ed Orgeron. Tough job down there. They got good players, but for some reason, no matter who they bring in offensively, it's just not working. We'll see this year. LSU can be a big game when they come to town. But I am telling you, it starts with these coordinators. And let me tell you this. You take it from most coordinators, you go on up to Dabo Swinney. I know somebody who knows him personally, who has a great relationship with him. And they said, aside from being a really, really good guy who is what you see him being who he is, that's actually him. I know everybody else wants to put down on Swinney. You'll hear these other, oh, go boy, did you hear about that O string? That's how Dabo did it. Just because you're strong doesn't make you a good athlete. Just because let me go ahead and tell you this. Even if you cheated, now listen to me. I'm going to say this. I don't believe you did. But even if you did cheat, you still have to have ability and the brain to know where players are going to be when a play's called. You still got to have good technique. You just being socked up on God knows what ain't going to just make you this genius, brilliant athlete. Because a really good athlete, they may suck at the books. They may be great at books. I don't know. They may be horrible academically, but on the field, they're a genius and they're a menace. And just because you've taken a bunch of whatever and your nuts have shrunk, doesn't make you a good athlete. People just like to come after him because he proves that you can be a nice guy who's competitive, who's having the time of his life, and he doesn't get to be Lucifer to everybody. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing that people doesn't like about Swinney. I've taken a little right turn, but that's fine. Just keep going with me. I'll come back to what I was going to say. People want you to have to be this evil, horrible, degrading, condescending jerk to people. And they want you to have, that's the only way that you win. You know why? Because they enjoy being a condescending, horrible jerk. And they can just use that as a crutch to prop up on. Well, you know, if I'm not this way, I don't win. And then Swinney comes along. They're losing the recruits to him. How? Between playing for a guy who's really nice and happy about life, and he's come through a bunch of stuff, and he's not the right hand of Satan. Or playing for somebody who degrades him all the time. And he's sending people to the NFL. Tons of them. Player development's incredible at Clemson. People graduating left and right. Clemson. Some of them with master's degrees. Recruiting class, maybe one of the best, if not the best of all time. But what I was going to say about that guy I know who knows Swinney personally, said this. So Dabo Swinney will tell you he's not the best X's and O's guy. He'll tell you that. Oh, what's he doing? Being the leader. See, that's what we get wrong about people who knows what they're doing. Leading a company, leading a team. You think that they know everything about everything. Well, that's just not possible. It's not. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. That's just like some of these people you meet. There's a rich dude I know grew up. He made his money in this one particular. I won't even name out who it is because anybody watching my videos might even know who he is. I don't want to talk about it. He come from nothing, made his money in some little small sector of God knows what. Now he thinks he knows everything. And some people around him's dumb enough to believe that he knows everything too. He doesn't know everything. He knows that particular industry he's in, and he's smart enough to bring in people here and there who will take care of him, right? Take care of certain things. But he doesn't know everything because you can't know everything. But what you do if you're a smart leader, listen to this. This comes back to the other coaches I named out and the positions coaches, and I can't go through all of them. Robbie Caldwell, I mean, what a great coach. And all these other guys. If you really, listen to me. Las Vegas just said, hey to me, Michael Fornbacher. It's good to see you, man. Much of you been saying hey to me. I'm not ignoring you. Once I get going, I have to go. Have to go or my head will explode. Some of you might start trying to do that. Somebody's asking me about super chats. I've been thinking about opening that up. I might be doing it. I can do it. I just haven't done it. But I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut her down. The reason they're doing so well is because he has made the right hires. That's why that sums it up. He hired the people who knows what they're doing. Listen to knows what they're doing. And they're good people and he wants to work with them. Because let me tell you right now, the last thing I want to do is work with people I despise, no matter how good they are. I don't want to work with people I'm continuously having friction with, and there's always a pissing contest, who's better, and all this bunch of stuff. That's why you see teams fall apart. That's why you see one year a team in the NFL, except for the Patriots, can win the Super Bowl one year, and in 2 years, they're at the bottom of the league. Because there's too many egos. He pulled together guys who can work together, who are really good at what they do, who enjoy hanging out with each other. Period. And that's a genius head coach. He understands the formula. He understands that it's not about him. He understands that Dabo Swinney himself has to go get the right coaches. Not, it's all about Swinney. I'm just being honest. That's how it happens. Though we have the players, and barring injury, I believe we repeat. Even though I know, everybody don't have to get on here and tell me. You know, the last time somebody won the national championship, 2 years in a row. I remember when Nebraska did it in the 90s. That was a bad football team. I mean, they were incredible. Another one, God, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it's like 60s or 70s, somewhere in there. I get it. It's difficult. Or maybe it was Alabama that did it 2 years in a row. They were one of them. But I believe Clemson win the national championship. Barring injury, hey man, we got the talent, and you have to have the talent on the field. The players play the game on the field. It's the coaches who sets them up to play the game at their best. Fortunately for us, Clemson fans, we have the players, but most importantly, we have the coaches. We have the tenure, and they're geniuses. That's why we'll repeat as the national champions this year. Barring injury, that's the reason we'll repeat as national champions. All right, well, listen to me. Thank you so much for joining me. I know I missed a bunch of Maytheres on you. Forgive me. I can only do one thing at one time. You know the old saying, chase two rabbits, you miss them both. My reply to that is unless you get you a shotgun with a good spread, you can get both of them any time of the week. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'm going to be posting these videos like you wouldn't believe. Y'all be good. You take care of yourself. And, you know, what am I forgetting? You keep showing up, Lord knows I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.